In 1965, an American teenage phenom, Jim Ryan, raced and beat the Olympic 1500 metre champion, Peter Snell, who hailed from New Zealand in an all-out mile. Today, 61 years later, we get to rewatch history with the cards reversed. A New Zealand teenage phenom, Sam Ruthe, racing the Olympic 1500 metre champion, American Cole Hocker. But unfortunately, the similarities in situations stopped at the starting line.
As Cole Hocker reaches the line!
This weekend at the Essex Sound Invite, the major headliner was 16-year-old prodigy Sam Ruthe racing Olympic champion Cole Hocker in a historic revenge match. And while the two athletes' PBs were quite similar, we'd get to see the stark difference between an F1 car and an F1 car with a professional driver. From the gun, for the first time in Sam Ruthe's career, we would bear witness to an inexperienced 16-year-old on the track. He would settle in behind three athletes and the pacer from his side of the staggered start, meaning once they merged, he was left without a spot on the rail. So this was the situation. The pace lights are already running at 3:46, 2 seconds faster than his PR. He's in a field of athletes that are his level or better, all with professional racing experience. And he was visibly looking uncomfortable, spending the first 600 meters of this race in lane 2. So doing some quick math, since the staggers for each lane are about 3.6 to 3.8 meters depending on the track, that's an extra 11 meters run already. But that's enough about Ruthe's struggle for now. Cole Hocker was leading this race pretty comfortably. He was sat right behind the pacer, running even splits, mid 28 seconds through each passing 200 meters. But at the background, at about 1 kilometer, you can see Ruthe making a move, trying to pass up Coupeteer on the curve, adding further distance to his race. While Cole Hocker, who's been running like a metronome, finally decides he's had enough time waiting around and punches it. While everyone was gassed trying to keep up, he was holding back, running his next split, 28.12 seconds through 1200 meters, then 27.48 seconds through 1400, until finally flying home solo in his fastest split of the race, demolishing this field and Ruthe in a fading 7th by over 4.5 seconds.
As Cole Hocker reaches the line, 3:45.94, a new American record.
This time, a year and 2 days ago, would have been a world record in this event. But obviously, since this isn't the case, it's but a measly American record and the second fastest indoor mile ever run, only behind Jakob Ingebrigtsen. Now, this is a bit of a wild statement, but it's a sentiment that's been building in my mind since the 2025 World Championships. In the absence of Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Cole Hocker is very quickly becoming the face of middle distance running. Obviously, he's already the 1500 meter Olympic champion, the 5K world champion from the 2025 World Championships, but he also won the US trials in both those events in pretty dominating fashion, which sometimes is even harder than the World Championship themselves. Over the last 2 years, he's really just won so consistently on the biggest stage with all the big names, he's starting to build an aura of invincibility in a championship setting. But that's just it. Only in a championship setting. In the 2024 season, the year he became Olympic champion, Hocker ran 4 races with elite international competition. The Melrose 2 Mile, the World Indoor Championship, the Los Angeles Grand Prix, and the Prefontaine Classic, where in 3 of 4 of these, he was basically a non-factor. Did you even spot him in those clips? Because he was in all of them, literally going 0 for 4 against the world's best before he wound up winning the US trials and then the Olympics. And the 2025 season was damn near the same thing. He got beat at Melrose, completely fiddled at Grand Slam track, running 6 races, winning 0, and absolutely pumped at 2 Diamond Leagues, before then going to win the 5K at the World Champs after getting DQ'd in the 1500 meters. Obviously, this is very early season, but he's already taken down Josh Kerr in a head-to-head and ran the second fastest time ever in the indoor mile. So for Hocker, who usually doesn't run well outside of championships, in terms of placing or times, does this finally give us some solid evidence that he could be that guy moving forward? Probably not, but it is a pretty decent indicator Hocker has evolved into an even stronger version of himself. And if he was already winning before at championships, well, good luck to you now that he's even better. Oh, And of course this was partly about Sam Ruthe as well. So the demon finally meets his demise. Yeah, not so much. 3:52 is still a monstrous time. It's 3 seconds faster than any other 16-year-old, but 4 seconds behind his PR of 3:48 from the other week. And if I had to guess, after watching him getting bullied, he still probably had a similar time of 3:48 in the legs given an ideal race. But that's just it, he did get bullied. He was kept off the rail for 600 meters, he then tried overtaking around the curve at 1000 meters, really fighting for it too, can't say he doesn't have heart, and in general, he just looked frustrated during the whole scenario. All in all, an extremely inefficient race, so considering this, can you be mad at a 3:52? Not at all. In my opinion, I see it as a fantastic effort for a first time at this level, and more so, it'll be a fantastic lesson moving forward. Really teaching him about the importance of running aggressively and finding your spot early. Because at the end of the day, he's still just an aerobic beast with the mind and tactics of a 16-year-old who spent his short 3-year career in New Zealand practically running entirely alone. And in terms of future races this year, I'm pretty sure he's headed back to NZ to race a bit domestically at the National Championships, which closes this chapter on the international adventures of the greatest 16-year-old prodigy in athletics. He will come back stronger. As a 17-year-old in the US in a few months, he's coming back very soon for the World Under-20 Championships and the Bowerman Mile. Also, speaking of 17-year-olds, America's very own freaky team prodigy Cooper Lutkenhaus couldn't go unmentioned with an under-20 world record in the indoor 800 meters.
Nerves in his step, and he still has it there as he takes a step.
Unlike Ruthe, who was bullied by pro competition, Lutkenhaus just demolished them. To be fair, it was an easier field, but what a wonderfully mature race by Lutkenhaus. He got ahead early, the pacer was going way too fast, but Lutkenhaus kept his cool and ran to the lights, and he just sat ahead of them the whole time. Flying solo, just him against the wind.
Has got a target, and that target is the teenager. Into the home stretch though, look at the string of Cooper Lutkenhaus as he crosses the line. 1:44.03.
I've done a lot of Ruthe glazing the past couple months, and a bit of Lutkenhaus doubting, but after his 1:42 last year, he's done nothing but impress. And I was doubting him before he even got started in 2026. He's run a 1:45.23, which was a high school record in the indoor 800 meter, in which he was unimpressed with because he outright said post-race he felt he's in the best shape of his life.
Training's been really good. I think I'm in probably the best shape I've been, especially compared to last summer, which I didn't think I would be, but...
And he wasn't lying, going on to run a 1:14 600 meter, an under-20 world record a week later. And then today, of course, the under-20 indoor 800 meter world record. But that's not even the craziest fact to come from this race. 1:44.03 seconds is also the 6th fastest time in the indoor 800 meter ever. Period. And it's also the collegiate record too, meaning both the indoor and outdoor 800 meter high school records are now faster than the collegiate records. And of course, he's still not even a senior. Ruthe and Lutkenhaus both set a terrifying precedent for the future of middle distance. In a good way, of course. And although they're both middle distance, it's a shame they're different types of athletes. Sam Ruthe clearly being more of a 1500 meter and up guy, while Lutkenhaus views himself as an 800-400 athlete. And because of this, I don't know if we'll ever get them in a proper race together. Which kind of just sucks. But maybe, the most disturbing fact of all is both of them are training under heavily reduced mileage. Ruthe running around 50 to 60 kilometer weeks.
Yeah, this is really one of my first years doing over like 60 kilometers a week, so I guess
which is about 37 miles. And honestly, just watch this video if you have any interest in what his training looks like behind the scenes, while Lutkenhaus is also on about 30 miles per week. And I find that just really cool. They're not young athletes being pushed way too hard. They both have a lot more room to grow.